in also here because they're the relatives. Some of them, are still there in the country. So anything that is taking place in the Sudan is a part of our issue, and it has to be looked at how these things have been. What are the issues being taken place?
When the Christians and Muslims tried to start rioting and fighting one another in Sudan, it has a tremendous impact, you're saying, on the people, on the Sudanese in the United States and Canada and Australia and everywhere, so they are pained by this kind of violence. Would that be a correct assessment of it?
Yes. Most of these people were part of the. They were part of during the war. They were part of the. I don't know how I can put it, but they were part of the people who've been affected by the war. So they have experience.
The refugees.
Yeah, they were refugees. They were being in a country when the war started. So they have the experience of the war, and when they went to the neighboring countries, they were not having an option that they will be resettled, in the different countries. But like for instance, when I was in Uganda, in Uganda, because I was in northern Uganda. So also in Uganda there were rebels who were also fighting in Uganda. So a part of it will become a victim of the Ugandan rebels who are operating in the north. So so me as being a part of member in a community of North America, so I have also experienced that I was a part of the a victim of the war that happened in our country. So that's applied almost to everybody who are here. And so these are the issues.
It's a really painful experience to be from East Africa, especially with all of the situations, violence, and etc. It's a painful experience to have to be here among, quote, all of the freedom that you do experience, and et cetera, and then reflect that most of your relatives are still under these kinds of conditions that you're talking about now. I would imagine that's a very, very painful experience. Is that not right?
Yeah, that's very right. Like I say, and mostly I would say that 80% of African countries are not enjoying peace. So most of the countries that people went there still defend that there are problems of that country. So when there are problems in that country, so you become also part of the problem, because you has been from another country to another country, usually you face difficulties. Starting a life as being a refugee is a very difficult situation, especially there are most people whom their families were part of who joined the rebels, and some of the families who also joined in the government to fight the war. So they are also, and for them, as being in the foreign countries, they were able to survive by themselves.
So the Civil War tore apart families, but it also tore apart nations, the various nationalities within those nations. Is that what we're saying? And is that one of the real issues of trying to bring about some kind of sanity? They call it democracy or whatever it is, but some kind of sanity in Sudan?
Yes, the conflict caused a lot of problems to the South, and the South were approaching all this time, so people suffered, 1 million people died, and all those people die for the cause of something.
Okay, Simon, I certainly appreciate the information that you've given us, but we've just about run out of time, and I want to thank you for bringing that information to us, because I think it's very, very important in terms of having an understanding. And of course, let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you, and